This morning I'm going to touch on a very current topic on the economic meltdown, the Christian response. I did a seminar for Calvary Charismatic Church Johor Bahru just about 1.5 months ago. We did the whole afternoon, about 3 to 4 hours seminar on this subject. And then Sunday I preached at the 2 services. And I'm going to condense this 4-hour seminar into maybe 1 hour, if you are able to take it. 1 hour. To help you to understand that in spite of the economic meltdown, God did not cease to provide us, that we are able to continue to give towards the work of the kingdom. It was very interesting about 10 years ago, during the last economic crisis, that God revealed to me the biblical principle of God's provision in the midst of economic crisis, and how can we respond. And I discovered this teaching of the scripture towards the tail end of the 1990s economic crisis. And today, as I share with you, I believe you will understand God's plan right at the beginning of His creation. So before that, let me tell you a story about human nature. Why economic situation such as this happened in our midst. There was a very successful businessman. He bought his latest toy car, the BMW 7 Series. When I say toy car, means he's so rich, you see. His car is like a toy. But it was precious. It's a 700 series. Let me say this, he's an American, okay? Otherwise, you may wonder how this happened. So one day he was driving along the main road just for the fun of experiencing his own car. A huge truck came from the left-hand side of his car and hit at his car with a very strong impact. You know, the American drive on the left-hand side. So hit from the left. Hit him. Luckily, he did not die. He survived. He crawled off from the car and began to shout very loudly, cursing the driver of the lorry and asking for the police. The police arrived. He continued to shout. He shouted. Then the police told him, he shouted. He said, my car was damaged. He felt so sad the car was damaged. He shouted. Then the police arrived. He continued to do so. The police told him, sir, your left hand is missing. He immediately shouted, where is my Rolex watch? At first, he was very concerned about his BMW being damaged. The next thing, he was concerned not his left hand, but the missing Rolex watch. Shouted, where is my Rolex watch? The story tells us the human nature, the greed, the extravagance, the possessiveness, influenced by the material more than anything else. He was concerned with his BMW. He was concerned with his Rolex watch. Why do I start off this story? It's to remind us one of the causes of the economic meltdown is the weakness of the human nature. Let me quickly summarize the cause of it, and then the consequences, and then the Christian response. The basic reason for the American economic meltdown was the credit crunch. What does it mean? It simply means that America did not have enough money to supply to the whole market system. As a result of lack of liquidity of money within the system, there was not enough money to flow to allow people to continue to purchase, to continue to do business. Very simple. I don't have time to explain this. I was doing this seminar in Shenzhen among the Christian businessmen called the Kingdom 51. They were amazed. They said, a pastor, an ordained minister, understood economics. Of course, he didn't know that I was trained as an economist in the university. So he thought that I'm with a reverend title, very holy, won't talk about money, you see. But he didn't know that I was, I was a graduate from University of Malaya Economic Faculty, a very well-known, those days in the 70s, one of the top, in the world. And I did the same seminar with 350 business leaders in Surabaya recently, and many different parts of the country and different parts of the world. The reason was credit crunch. So American economy was based very much on credit. So therefore, as a result of credit and mortgages, it created the American dream whereby they encouraged every Americans to enjoy the American home, enjoy the American lifestyle, to enjoy the American luxury. If you have read my book, Living and Leading with Limitation, you'll notice one section, somebody asked me, a teacher asked me when I was only 15, 16 years old, what is life? I told my teacher, life is when you have an American home. When I was 16 years old, I already recognized American home. Now I'm 58 years old. You can imagine, American home is so influential. Of course, I told them, second, Chinese cook. Thirdly, Japanese wife. A lot of people ask me, why, Reverend Wong, you look for Japanese wife? I said that time, I was 16 years old. Now I'm 58. Today you ask me, I will tell you don't. Why? Tell you later. The American home concept caused people to dream to have the best. So as a result, the whole housing boom happened in America, where everyone began to buy big houses. I know of a couple, immigrants from this part of the world to America, an Indonesian couple. The husband worked in a warehouse as a storekeeper. The wife looked after 6 or 8 young children as a babysitter at home. They bought a house that has swimming pool. And the husband has to work from morning till 5, then from 6 to 10 work for McDonald's to deliver goods, to deliver order. With the kind of little salary, they want to maintain an American home with swimming pool. I visited the home. I was shocked. That was a